Hey everyone, it's your girl Amanda Schaefer here. Now what I have up my sleeve for today's video is sure to be a fun one. But allow me to explain a few things before I cut to the chase. Back in July, I started writing stories on Wattpad that followed adventures of a young girl named Amanda Swan. Who is she, you ask? She's basically me, but in Swan Princess style. Now you're all wondering, Swan Princess? What is that? Well, The Swan Princess is a film franchise that I grew up with when I was 11 years old. To this day, I still love the franchise. I practically have all the films on DVD. But there's supposed to be another one coming out soon. I just don't know when. Anyway, in those films, Princess Odette, one of the main characters, does not have any siblings. But in the case of Amanda Swan, she does. Swan is her younger sister. And just like her big sis, she turns into a swan. However, the only difference is, Odette turned into a swan was because she was under a spell. Swan, however, as in Amanda Swan, can turn herself into a swan whenever she wants. So, with that being said, I'm going to demonstrate how Amanda Swan can turn herself into a swan. Follow me, and let's have some fun with it, shall we? Okay, so the first thing you need is a ring. Why? Well, Swan wears a ring that allows her to turn into a swan. Because without it, it won't work. Okay. Now she has two forms, a regular form and a large form. She can enlarge herself when she can turn into a swan. First, I'll demonstrate the movements that are used when she's in her regular swan form, or turns into it, I should say. Okay, so put your hands like this, and then imagine magic swirling around her, and then transformation complete. Those gestures were inspired by a TV spot I saw for Descendants, The Royal Wedding. Descendants is a Disney Channel film that premiered back in 2015, and back in 2021, they had a special where Mal, daughter of Maleficent, and Ben, son of Belle and Beast, get married. Fans have been wanting to see that because they didn't get married at the end of the third film that came out in 2019. Mal actually did that in the TV spot. We don't see her do that in the actual movie. I won't go into any more spoilers for those who haven't seen it. And when I saw that, that's what gave me the idea to use those hand gestures for Swan when she turns into her swan form. Next is when she can enlarge herself in swan form. I've used this hand gesture a bunch of times, but I'll show it to you now. So, I cross my hands like this, and then wave them down, and boom. Swan form again, but much, much bigger. Now the rest of you are wondering, how does she turn back? Allow me to explain. Getting back to Descendants, in Descendants 2, which premiered back in 2017, Mal realized that she could turn herself into a dragon just like her mom. She filled up with rage, her eyes began to glow, and then she gets surrounded by purple smoke, and then boom, she's a full-fledged dragon. And then at one point, she slowly drops to the ground, and then her human form returned. And that is exactly what I'll demonstrate. So, here we go. Here is Swan in her swan form. She slowly comes down to the ground. Magic surrounds her again. And then swan form gone temporarily. That is until she's ready to turn back. And she's human again. Pretty simple stuff, I tell you. But well worth it. Now getting back to the ring I mentioned earlier, Swan wears a ring that actually has a swan on it. Unfortunately, I don't have any rings with a swan on them, but I had to use something. Okay, that'll about do it for the swan stuff for now. You'll see more of that stuff on Wattpad, and I'll explain more in just a few moments. Okay, I have 4 new Amanda Swan stories that'll be out on April 9th, which is Easter. First will be the Easter story, known as Extra Special Fun. And following that will be what you've all been waiting for those of you on Wattpad. It's called A Lifetime of Love, where Swan and her childhood friend Paul McCartney finally tie the knot. Following that is a story known as Honeymoon in Disneyland. Swan said she's always wanted to see Disney, so that's exactly where she and Maka are going for their honeymoon. And then Wonderkind, which will follow a plot similar to one of the greatest Disney films out there. And you'll find out when you read it on Wattpad. So anyway, what did you think of the way I demonstrated the swan transformation? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll be back with more material soon. Also, I should send a shout out to Brer Sam, who inspired me to put together Amanda Swan. So, thanks for that, girl. I don't know how you put all these amazing ideas together, but I love it. No denying that. I never doubt your creativity. Anyway, have a good week, everybody.